Today's session, we're going to go through the cut and fill on Revit. So what we have this parcel of land, which is connected to the Regency TAFE campus. So guys have come through, they've gone around with their survey marks and taken the survey for the ground levels here, and they've produced these contour plans for us. So you have to come through the Learn site and download the Regency Topo. And what it looks like is it's this here. It looks a bit different to the typical contour plans we've dealt with. The reason for that is this one is actually in 3D this time. So typically you won't get a 3D contour for a house, but for bigger allotments or bigger scale projects you will. It's quite expensive to get the survey guys to do a 3D mapping, and it's not, overly needed. So what we're going to do is we're going to come to Revit, we're going to go new, and we're going to go with an architectural template and create a new project. This time what we're going to do is we're going to go to our site plan. Now just bear in mind inside we've got two little markers here. Alright, one's a triangle, one's a circle. So if I hover over these, I've got a survey point and I've got a project base point. And we'll see the difference between these in a minute, but if I go OK, what do I get? Well, I get different points and different values for these points. So north, south, east, west, and elevations. So what you're going to see is these are going to change, and we have to alter some of these in relation to the contours that we get. So let's bring in this contour. We go Insert, Link CAD. Find wherever the CAD file is. Mine's my downloads, yours probably will be too. From here, import the units at a meter. Untick the correct lines that are slightly off axis. Alright, we're not going to use this for our contours. And let's position it at center to center. Let's go open. This is what I get. Alright, so now my contours is here, my contour plan. And you can see obviously our spot elevations as well, just like we did in AutoCAD. So we got to play around with this a little bit. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, now that we've brought it in, is we're going to acquire the coordinates. So Revit will snap the coordinates based on the CAD file. So let's go Manage. Under the project location, we grab this one here. So under the coordinates, we go Acquire Coordinates. This time, I can just click on my link. So you can see this big blue box comes on the outside. So I just select the link. Now watch what happens here. Alright, so what you can see is now I've only got one of them here. Alright, so this one here. Alright, it's my project base point. If I scroll back out, I gotta scroll a little bit further out to find it. Alright, I have my survey point down here. So by acquiring the points, it sets my survey mark at 0, 0, 0. Then my project base point will change after. Alright, so we can clip it here, but this is okay. So now it's set to where we want it to go. So what I need to do now is I need to move my other datum. So I'm going to move this one here. Remember my project base point to be where the temporary benchmark is for this drawing or for the contours. So where I'm going to bring it is down to here. This is where they've taken the marks from, and then we'll deal with these numbers in a minute. Alright, so at the moment, alright, if I look at my north-south, east-west, and my elevations, so elevation 0, then we've got different ones here. These are in millimeters, the markers here are in meters. So let's just drag it down over here somewhere. Zoom in, let's fix it up. So drag it and it will snap to the midpoint here. So my north-south is this number here. My east-west is this number here. Then my elevation is this number here. So these two look okay. My elevation is obviously off, so let's change it. So 8, 5, 2, 4, enter. While that's there, I might just pin it, and I might pin the contours as well. So I select the contours, click the pin, and pin it there. Alright, so now I can't accidentally drag it or move it. So my datums are all set. Alright, so now that is in there, what I'm going to do with this part of the recording is we're going to go through setting up the land, and then I'm going to come through putting in the site and fill. So I'm going to, the site and fill, the cut and fill. So it's going to be split into 2 different recordings, or even 3 recordings. So the next thing we're going to do, now that I've pinned and set my levels appropriately, we're going to go create the surface. So I'm just going to scroll that a little bit, and this time here we're going to go to massing and site. We're going to use the topo surface. Alright, I'm going to create it from import. I'm going to select the import instance. There's no point creating the extra points, they're already here. So again, I get this big blue box around it, so that's grabbing the link. So I click on this one. Now it's asking me, at what points do you want to bring in? Alright, we've got some layers here in the CAD file. What do you want to bring across? Well, my only really, the things I care about is my minor and major contours. Alright, they're the biggest things for me. So let's go OK. Alright, so now this all changes, just grabbing the minor and major contours that I've specified. And let's come through and make it green. So let's change the material here. Click these 3 dots. We're looking at ground or earth. So earth, it's got a really ugly color here. Make it a bit greener. Okay. And okay once more. Alright, so once I've picked all my points, which I've done, from selecting the import, I click the tick. Alright, so this is what I end up with. So it's not looking too impressive just yet. Let's come to our 3D. Still not looking really impressive. Let's change the detail level. Let's go to shaded. So this here is my land. Alright, so it's got some thickness to it. Alright. But that is the points from the CAD. We've now brought them into Revit. And now what I'll do is I'll just hide my CAD file. So VV, import categories, and just turn off the CAD. And this is what I'm left with here. Alright, so that's the surface that I'm going to use for my cut and fill. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we'll go through, we'll set our levels, and then we'll bring in a house. Alright, but this is the first points for getting our topography all set up.